Good morning, and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Miranda Peters
and Hallie Kilberg. On today's show, we'll be telling you all about a Marquette student, Jalen Tyson, and a recent audition on the popular singing show, The Voice.
We'll also be informing you on a second grade tradition.
We'll be giving you all the details on Marquette's science fair,
answering more advice-related questions, and you ask, we answer.
As always, giving you all the sports and updates,
and interviewing a Marquette senior, Taylor Banowitz.
And that's not the only interview that we'll be having for you this week. Today we're here interviewing a Marquette student who recently auditioned for NBC's hit show, The Voice. That student is Marquette junior Jalen Tyson.
Hi, Jalen. Thanks for joining us today. So, when did you audition for The Voice and where?
January 21st at Chicago at Navy Pier in a big hall.
Okay, that's cool. Can you walk us through the experience?
So the audition process is split up into really 3 sections. The first section is everybody signs in. It's a complete open call. Anyone can sign up and come pretty much. So there's no coaches there. It's just the producers of the show. And you have to audition in front of them. And you can sing 1 or 2 songs. And it's about a 5-hour process if you want to wait in the whole line.
What songs did you sing?
I sang The Way You Make Me Feel by Michael Jackson and Nothing But a Good Time by Poison.
Can you share the results of your audition?
I only made it through the first round. In the 5 hours I was there, they probably let in about 15 people to the second round, and there were probably a couple thousand people who auditioned that day.
Do you want to pursue singing as your career after high school?
I would love to pursue singing, although it is a long shot. I'm ready to go for it.
So you obviously love singing, so when did you start singing, and what made you enjoy it so much?
I've been singing ever since I was about 2 years old, and my family is really what made me love it so much, because my great-grandpa and all the way down to me and my siblings all love to sing and play instruments.
And for our listeners who don't know, you've written and performed a few original songs. Can you tell us about these songs and what's next for you in the future?
I always thought about writing songs and that would be cool, but I never really knew how to approach it. But then, with the help of my dad, I taught myself guitar, and then I just kind of started going for it and making things up and writing songs. And pretty soon, in the next few months, I'll be coming out with a new song called I'll Try.
All right, well, congratulations on all your success, and thank you so much for your time.
And in honor of her audition on The Voice, we have a little game to see if you know The Voice.
So get out your pens and paper, everyone. See if you can guess who said these iconic lines.
Okay, the first famous line is, "A day that will live forever in infamy." Who said this famous line in a speech?
Okay, and now the second famous line. "Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless."
Next, who said, "Don't count the days, make the days count"?
Quote number 4. "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much."
And the last quote for you is, "I ask you to ensure humanity is served by wealth and not ruled by it."
Okay, thanks for playing along, and be sure to stay tuned. We'll have all those answers coming up right after the break.
But right now we have the voice of our very own Justina Denlinger.
Each year, the PTO gives a gift to the Marquette second graders as well as to the second graders who do not attend Marquette, but who are a part of the religious education. In honor of these students making their first communion, the children receive a ceramic chalice that they personalize with special paint. On Monday, February 6th, the second graders, with several parents and grandparent volunteers, painted the chalices. Each child drew all sorts of designs on the chalice and then painted 3 coats of paint on the surface, drying each layer with a hairdryer. The chalices will then go back to the company, Pottery on Wheels, where they will be fired in a kiln. These chalices will then be ready to be presented to each second grader and his or her parents at the March Parent-Teacher Conferences. Now I'm ready to present you with these words from our sponsors. From Marquette in Motion, this is Ben Justina Denlinger. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. So could you name the voice that said each of these given quotes? Let's check for the answers now. Number 1, "A day that will forever live in infamy," was said by the 32nd President, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless, was spoken by the selfless Mother Teresa.
Next, don't count the days, make the days count, was stated by boxer Muhammad Ali.
And quote number 4, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much, was voiced by the inspirational Helen Keller.
And the last quote for you, I ask you to ensure humanity is served by wealth and not ruled by it, was articulated by the head of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis.
Now, talking about the wealth of inventions for this year's upcoming science fair is Katherine Heimbuch.
The annual Marquette Catholic Science Fair is coming up, and we have a very exciting array of inventions, experiments, and Goldberg machines. Mr. John Knoll, our middle school science teacher, is the host of this fair and encourages and helps students with their projects along the way. The science fair is split into 3 parts. 6th grade builds inventions to make some part of life easier. 7th grade makes experiments that they think would be beneficial knowledge to the community. And in groups, 8th grade makes Rube Goldberg machines, named after the famous Rube Goldberg. The task they have to accomplish is to build a complex machine that does a simple task. At the end of the science fair, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and honorable mentions will be announced for every grade. The science fair will be held on March 8th, and we would love it if you could come down and support the middle school scientists. And if you are interested by these, here are the 6th grade inventions. Jeffrey Demma, cubing in 90 seconds. Ethan DeStodel, the potty training toilet handle. Mallory Griffin, sponge blanket. Rain Hafer, glue crayon. Elise Kilberg, the perfect pack, dog edition. Trevor Klein, the original archery stand. Gavin O'Brien, the easy bucket roller 9000. Ryder Patzner, umbrella cup holder hybrid. Evan Scott, toothbrush flosser combo. Ella Tracy, car seat pocket holder. Remember to stop by on March 8th for this exciting scientific event. This has been Katherine Heimbuch for Marquette in Motion.
Thanks, Katherine. Up next are Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig to answer more advice-related questions in You Ask, We Answer. Are you ready, guys?
Sure, we're ready.
All right, the first question reads, I really like Quiz Bowl, but a lot of questions asked in practice I don't know. But the ones I do know, everyone seems to already know the answer also. Do you think Quiz Bowl is worth my time, even if I really don't get to participate?
I think it is, because when I was a freshman in Quiz Bowl, I had my older brother and all his classmates, and they would answer most all the questions, but I still learned a lot, and over time I gained more knowledge and learned kind of how Quiz Bowl flows and what types of questions there are. And so being in it in my younger years really helped me.
The second question is, if I got a good ACT score, but I think I can do a little better, is it worth retaking the ACT test?
Yes, it most certainly is, because although you have to pay a certain fee to take the ACT every time you do, you could be saving maybe thousands of dollars in the long run with deductions from college with a better score that you could get. So I would definitely recommend taking that chance and using that small amount of money to retake it.
And lastly, I'm wanting to do golf this spring, but all my friends are doing soccer and they want me to join them. Should I try soccer or should I stick with golf?
I think you have to balance 2 things, your enjoyment of the sport and what you will be successful at. So if you're a good golfer and you think that there will be a lot of fun with your teammates, then you might want to stay in golf. But soccer's always fun too.
Okay, thanks for all that great advice, guys.
Stay tuned. More Marquette in Motion after the break. Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now again are Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig, this time with all the Marquette sports and updates.
Thanks, Miranda. On February 2nd, the JV and varsity boys went to play North Lynn, and there they fell short against the ranked number 1 team in the state for Class 1A. This past Monday, Marquette's JV and varsity girls, as well as the varsity boys, traveled to Springville to play the teams of Cedar Valley Christian. Marquette had a successful night with a win and a large margin between the teams in all 3 games. For the JV girls, this was their last game of a very successful season, wrapping up the year with 21 wins and 0 losses. Great job, girls. While the varsity girls began their district's tournament with a bye week, the JV and varsity boys had 2 more nights of games before their regular season was wrapped up. On Tuesday night, the boys' teams played Central City at home, and Marquette was able to get a win on both levels. And on Thursday night, the boys' teams played their last regular season game against Lisbon at home. The boys played well, but still fell short in their games against the Lions. The JV boys also ended the season on Thursday, and we look forward to watching them play in future games next year. The varsity girls will play in their first district game on Tuesday at home at 7 o'clock, with their opponent still yet to be determined. And the varsity boys will play their first district game on Thursday against Cowley at Prince of Peace at 7 o'clock.
Thanks, John. A week ago today, Marquette's large group speech participants performed at the state speech competition. The state competition is usually the last step in the speech season, because very few performers are nominated for the large group all-state speech performance held in Ames. No one was nominated this year for Marquette, but the group improvisation troupe and the ensemble piece Almost Made earned 3 ratings of 1. The ensemble piece The Mouse and the Raven earned 2 1 ratings and 1 2 rating. Great job, large group speech participants. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Sam Peters.
And Jonathan Herrig
with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks, guys. Up next are Kelsey Gerlach and Brooklyn Moore interviewing Taylor Banowitz, a Marquette senior.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brooklyn Moore.
And I'm Kelsey Gerlach.
Today, we'll be interviewing another one of Marquette's seniors, Taylor Banowitz. Would you mind giving our audience a little background on yourself?
Hi, I'm Taylor, and I live around the Springbrook area, and my parents are John and Debbie Banowitz, and I have 2 older brothers who are twins, and then I also have a younger sister who attends Marquette as well.
So what are some activities you participate in or outside of school?
I have participated in volleyball, track, basketball, softball, speech, and philanthropy board of Jackson County, as well as musicals and plays.
What's your favorite activity?
Volleyball.
Okay. What's one piece of advice you could give to someone involved in various activities?
Definitely learn how to manage your time between putting in work for the sports that you play and putting in time to get your homework done.
So going along with that amazing piece of advice, what is one activity that you wish you could have been more involved in your high school career?
Probably plays and musicals, because it was over half the high school, and that's just kind of a fun atmosphere to be around, and is something that I wish I would have stuck out throughout high school.
Okay. Do you know where you want to go to college yet?
The University of Northern Iowa.
What made you want to go there?
I liked the campus a lot, and it's kind of a small school, but not too small, where I just wanted to go somewhere that was bigger, but not overwhelming.
So it's a nice medium. When you go there, what do you plan to major in?
I plan to major in either business or communications as of right now. Who knows, that could change in the future, but I plan on majoring in one of those.
So what really made you interested in business and communications?
I like to talk to people, so that's kind of why I liked communications. And there's a lot of opportunities with either of those, so I liked that even I could be anywhere and I could find a job.
Okay. Switching gears here, who's your role model and why?
My mom, because she is one of the, I don't even know how she does it half the time, with 4 kids and always manages to make it to every one of our events.
Moms are good role models. So, here's our last question. What is your favorite thing to do when you're not busy with school?
Probably hang out with my friends. There's not a lot to do in town, so you find ways to improvise, such as just kind of driving around town or just watching movies at somebody's house.
Sounds fun. Well, that concludes our interview. Thanks for letting us interview you, Taylor, and thanks to all of our listeners. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Brooklyn Moore
and Kelsey Gerlach
with Tell Us More.
Thanks for reporting, everyone.
And thank you for tuning in. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Hallie Kilberg
and Miranda Peters. And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay
in motion.